This module is going to be a bit more ridiculous. It's basically going to be a sort of one-note dance station preset where you play a note and it plays a bass line, melody, some kind of FX sound, and also a drum beat. So we'll start off with oscillator 1. Again, this is the initialized preset, so I'm just going to turn off the sound effects, and then using the factory bass sounds, I'm going to go for one of these FFTs, I think 5. And I'm going to use the arpeggiator to play this one. So if I turn on the arp, and I'm going to create my own pattern. So I'm just going to I'll also transpose down the bass by 12 semitones. I'm going to make the pattern twice as long. Okay, so and transpose these last two. Trim, or rather extend some of these out a bit. That'll probably do for now. I'm using the filter there. What we could do is use the gate instead to kind of shorten these notes, but I kind of want to keep these lengths as they are. So I'm applying a filter in default low pass, so we could choose a different one like this power one here. So we've got some envelope modulation on each note here, so it's jumping up. Might be nice to actually use the modulation envelope at the same time to have it going up and down slowly. So if I actually drag that to the cutoff as well and change it so it's just going up. And with this one, I actually want to change the trigger. So when I hold the MIDI note down, it triggers the envelope and it doesn't trigger it on each step. So you can see when I'm holding down the note there, it just goes through the envelope and it doesn't re-trigger it until I play another MIDI note. So what I could do is actually add another point here and delete that one. Just have it maybe looping. I'm going to drag this one out a little bit as well. I could synchronize that to make it a bar if I wanted to. So now we get this kind of peaking bit in the middle with the cutoff high, which then drops down at the end of the bar and then starts again as the arpeggiator repeats. So, okay, that's our bass line kind of sorted for now. Let's move on to oscillator 2, which is going to be a lead sound. And for this, we're going to use we'll use this tropical piano here. So I'm just going to mute oscillator 1. And what we need to do now is go to the arpeggiator section and create another arpeggiator. And in this section now I can just, left click, not right click, choose ARP2 and route it to ARP2. And for ARP2 now I'm going to choose one of these synth patterns, which is super octaves. So you can hear now the two oscillators together, we get quite a cool effect. Might apply a little bit of random pitch adjust to this one by bringing the inner ring down a little bit. Sounding quite good. I might just apply some FX to our bass. Maybe a bit of vintage chorus. And then maybe change this one to reverb and apply that to our lead sound. So I made it quite a lot shorter there and also just rolled off the bottom end. Yeah, so that's the first two sounds kind of where I want them to be. Now for a third sound, this one is going to be like an FX loop. And for this one, I'm going to go for the organic noises and I'm going to go for one of these motor ones probably. Let's just solo that one for now. Turn off filter 1. Set the pitch in a sec. First I'm going to turn on the step sequencer. And that's basically the kind of effect I want. Obviously you can make your own sequence in there if you like. Play around with these bars. Obviously this is going to be quite a noisy one, so I want to bring it down on the mixer. I might also change the gate a little bit, rather the decay. Actually, I don't really want this fast pattern here, so Sounding quite good. Might just use the FX rack here to apply some flanging. Make sure I'm not sending that to the other, sending the other sounds to that rather. And now let's unsolo it and hear those three together. Cool. Finally then, I'm going to add some drums. So I'm going to go to the factory drums here. I'm going to unlock the sequence. So we're just going to load the drums. I've done that the wrong way. Let's see. Yeah, I've loaded patterns. However, I'll fix that in a sec. So yeah, sorry, you need to be on sequence there and have it unlocked there so you can then load, sorry, try it again, on drums here and have it unlocked so you can load the drums but not load the patterns. However, as I've loaded a pattern now, which I didn't want to do, I can go over here and initialize it. So it's now empty. And all I want to do is create a very simple pattern of kick. And yeah, I'll just do very simple 4 kicks. So I bring down the pattern length and then hats in between. And let's have a listen. Need to go to our zones and make sure it's mapped to the whole keyboard. And now I'm going to keep the sequence we've got here, but I'm just going to change the drums. Let's unsolo them now and just hear them with the rest so we can play around with the kits to find one we like. Bring down the volume of the clap there, and I might actually just set up a different effects rack for the drums here just so I can create our snare for the reverb. So if I route that to FX2 now, just solo it. So yeah, that's created the basic patch with all these different parts. And again, I could just use the master effects rack here to apply some compression to kind of gel them all together. And also some other more interesting effects if we wanted to as well, but I'll just stick to these ones for now. and there's our Dance Station patch.